type of sounds, these. Sort of dirty, lo-fi, simple but rich. Put together a quick start guide to the Yellowjacket from Cherryaudio. It's a very cool little thing, and Cherryaudio go from strength to strength. I demoed the first stuff years ago and compared it with my original synths, and you know, since then they've really come on leaps and bounds, and I'm a massive fan of them, especially for the price. As it's based on the WASP, and the WASP is a very simple synth, I thought instead of going into lots and lots of detail about stuff, I'll just give you a quick overview, because although it is a very simple little synth, it's got a few cool little quirks that they've copied over into Yellowjacket. Things like this enhanced oscillator and having the speaker in there and stuff like that. So a very quick run through. We've got the main control panel here. We've got the ARP and effects, including this speaker. Little microphone comes out. So we're now listening to it through the speaker. Add some hiss, add some hum. Really nice little lo-fi thing there. I like the way the line outs disappear, that's quite cool. But yeah, arpeggiator, octafuzz, phaser, flanger chorus, echo and reverb, and I'm not going to go into all of these in detail. Well, I'm not going to go into them at all actually. They're good, they're great effects, and they're in there. Coming into the edit screen, and it does look like an old WASP. If we come down to here, this will be the original WASP. It's just a mono synth. But Cherryaudio have brought with us big unison mode. Up to 16 voices. With detune. 4, 8 and 16. Plus poly mode, so we can do chords, as you've just heard in that intro. And the tone of the WASP is really cool. It's a Chris Huggett design. If you don't know who he is, he's a bit of a synth legend. The WASP was one of his genius little inventions, as was the Oscar. But it's just got a fantastic tone, and now we've got it in poly. And if we go into this multi-mode here, we get additional, let's take it off unison, shall we? We've got additional voice controls for 4 separate voices. So we can have things like different panning, left and right, different pitch controls for each of them. So a little bit like, well, you could think of it as an old synth that's a bit knackered. Or as a lovely enhancement, giving us really nice wide stereo panning. I should just mention the Cherryaudio standard things. We've got a keyboard in there, so you don't actually need anything plugged in. I've got this on the highest quality. Put it on normal quality. Go to highest quality. 4 times over sampling those. We can hear that we've got some sort of envelope on that. On the Mac, option click gets you back to 0. You can hide the keyboard, which is handy, and you can focus so you can zoom in and pan around on it. If you've got a tiny screen, reset that so we can see the whole thing. So, MIDI, I'll just show you that I've set the frequency and the Q, so the resonance, on my key step 37. If I go to the attack, let's just control click on that, MIDI learn. Let's wiggle this knob here. And that's letting that. You can see my mouse isn't touching it. So you can MIDI learn everything. Then we've got the settings in here as well. You can control how the interface works, and you've got your audio MIDI settings. And of course, you can resize it as well. Question mark takes you to their website, updates it, and there's an update available already. And you can notice here as well, we've got keyboard pressure. That's just me hitting the aftertouch on the Arturia. And that can affect the volume, the pitch, the filter. And the echo time. But it really is a nice sounding little thing, isn't it? We'll kick off by taking a look at the oscillators. We've got two oscillators. They're very similar, but not identical. Turn oscillator 1 up. We've got a sawtooth. We've got a pulse. Let's take the modulation off for now. And we can modulate that with pulse width modulation, and that's controlled by this control oscillator, the LFO in the center. But it never quite goes through 0. So yeah, sawtooth, pulse, and then enhanced. And that's PWM, but not using this control oscillator. It's something that was on the NAT. Yes, there was something that was smaller than a WASP. But it just means that you can have PWM and you've freed up the LFO to do other things. Oscillator 2 has that as well. Let's just listen to that. We've only got a square. We don't have pulse width control. But we do have that enhanced PWM mode. We've got a pitch control, which goes from -10 to +4 semitones. Great tone, that, isn't it? And we've got oscillator sync. But you can't control this with the envelope. So it's very much a twiddling thing. Let's learn that with MIDI. Yeah, twisting it with a knob comes like the pitch bend trick on the Prodigy. I love the tone of it. It's just got a real nice grit and dirt, hasn't it? So following the oscillators, we've got the mix. We know what the mix is, don't we? Oscillator 1, oscillator 2, and the noise. We do have noise on here, so you can do percussive things if you want. Let's just turn that filter up. White noise. Let's turn that down. That's not too interesting. Let's get a nice sounding, rich, detuned sound. Cool. So we all know what a filter does. We don't have self-oscillation on this. No sound there. You can hear it sort of squealing a little bit. In fact, if I put the noise on. Beautiful rumbles. Anyway, we've got low pass, band pass, A notch, I do like a notch. Let's put it onto poly mode. Take the Q down on the notch because you want to hear the notch. So that's just taking out the mid frequencies and then a high pass. It's weird, it's got like a thick but dirty tone to it, hasn't it? You'll notice there's no filter tracking control on the filter, but it does actually have filter tracking. It gets brighter as you go up the keyboard. If you come down here, that sounds very dull, but go to the top. It's nice and bright, so it is in there. So you just got to be aware that sometimes you might think it's not filtering, but it is. It's just the quirk of the original WASP. I'm not getting lower than that, and that's because of the tracking. And we can modulate the filter with the control oscillator or with this envelope over here. So let's add some LFO. The LFO goes into audio rates. I've got it there. It goes up to 100 Hertz. So if we play this nice and high, it's almost FM style stuff, isn't it? You can have positive or negative. Let's bring this a bit slower. You can sync it, obviously. Tempo's at 120 at the minute. Let's take that off anyway for now. It's just free running. You can see the LED. Isn't affected by hitting the keys. If I put it into retrigger, let's put it into this mode. Every time I hit a key, it resets. And using the control oscillator, we can modulate the pitch and the amp as well. So take it off the filter. And if we put mod wheel on, it'll only work when you're turning the mod wheel up. Which is what I'm doing, but you can't see. Take that off again. So we can also control the filter with this control envelope here. Let's take that off. So option click, resets it all. Or negative. But that does really bring me over to these envelope generators. We do have two of them. The top one is for the VCA, that's the volume. We've got attack, decay, sustain and release, so standard ADSR. The velocity control of that as well. Let's take that off for now. But you'll notice we've got this repeat here. And when I said earlier, it's an LFO, where it can act like an LFO, it really can. We bring this down to repeat. You can see this is starting flashing. Or you can have this as the sustain level. So that's quite a cool little trick. So you can shape the LFO by shaping the envelope. So you could have this, and you can have the amp from over here as well, I suppose. So it's getting quite complex, isn't it? The control envelope is slightly different. We've got attack and we've got decay, but then we've got this delay as well. So if I just put the attack on a bit there, let's turn this up so it's going to be doing something at least. Let's take that amp off there. If we bring the delay in, you'll notice I've got this down at 0 milliseconds. What if I bring that up? It delays the envelope coming in, but if you bring it down to repeat again, LED starts flashing. Another LFO. And you'll notice here we've got an attack curve. We can change the attack curve from a logarithmic to exponential. Let's get that to about 0. That's linear, I think. So as I say, a quick start guide. We've got master tune over here. And there's a limiter on there as well. And that's because if we come into the effects section, we do have fuzz and stuff, so let's add some drive. Oh, and let's bring the effects in, shall we? There you go. Let's bring that speaker out again. Excellent stuff. Something cherryaudio are really good at, and that's lots of nice presets. Really do show it off to its best. Really got a nice tone, this, you know. So it's got all those sort of really cool basses, but I really like the pads and stuff you get out of this as well. Go into the pads. It's one I've been having a little play with. But the whole thing, no matter what you're playing on this, just has a really nice vintage lo-fi vibe. Everything I've played on this so far, I can find things to do with. Really are my type of sounds, these. Sort of dirty, lo-fi, simple but rich. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, do all the usual stuff. Subscribe, ring the bell, join me over on Patreon, all that sort of stuff. But thanks for staying to the very end. And I'll see you next time.